welcome to TAM 212 tracker tutorial. As you can see, we are on homework 4A, and the first thing you want to do is right click on bounce.mp4 and save link as, name it whatever you like, but put the .mp4 at the back. I saved my bounce video on my desktop. Here it is. So next you're going to want to install Tracker. Right click on the link given in Prairie, and for me I'm using a Windows 10, so I'm going to go ahead and download that version. I'm going to save it and I'm going to wait for it to download. And once you have that, you should see the installer pop up either on your desktop or wherever else you chose to save your downloaded files. I'm going to go ahead and run the installer. Now we start the setup process. Click next, agree to the terms and conditions, save it wherever you like. And at this part, make sure only Tracker is checked. Do not check videos and experiments. Just leave that alone. And hit next, and now you wait for it to download. Tracker should automatically launch once it is done installing. You don't need the README file, so you only have to check launch Tracker. Right, so you should see this pop up, and great. Now this is what your version of Tracker should look like roughly. Now hit File, go to Import, Video, and select your bounce video. Perfect. Now you have this. You want to zoom in a little bit to about 100. Drag it so that the ruler is at the bottom of your frame. Now we are going to set our measurements. So in homework 4, it says that the ruler is 30 centimeters long. So we are going to calibrate Tracker, and we do this by clicking Create, Calibration Tools, Calibration Stick. Click Shift and click on one end of the ruler. Click Shift and click on the other end of the ruler. And if you see this little box up here, that's editable. So change that to 0.30 meters and hit enter. Now you have your calibrated distance. So this basically tells Tracker this amount of distance is 0.3 meters. Now you want to create your coordinate system, and that's the little purple cross lines here. Go ahead and click on that. Hover your mouse over the center and drag the coordinate axes towards the center of your ruler, and there you have it. So another fun function is this little line here. You can rotate your axis that way. But that's really up to you which coordinate system you prefer, whether you want your X or your Y as your main axis. So I prefer having my Y vertical and my X horizontal. So now we are going to go ahead and slow down our video so we can find where the ball starts to appear. So I'm going to play the video and I'm going to drag it, and I can see the ball starts appearing here. I'm going to pause it, and these two arrows lets you go front or back by 1 frame. So I'm going to click 1 frame forward until I see the ball. And if that's a little too slow for you, go ahead and hit play at a slow speed. And once you see the ball come in, stop, go back a few frames, and boom, there you have it. There's your ball right there. Now, you want to measure the height and the velocity of the ball. So what you're going to do is hit create, select point mass, shift and click on the ball, and tracker should automatically move to the next frame. Shift and click again, and continue doing this for each and every frame. The ball gets a little blur later on, and tracker is not the most accurate of softwares, so just make a rough estimation and keep clicking although the ball is bouncing upward. But that really depends, whether you continue clicking or not depends on your intention. So for the project itself, it is not necessary to do this. And once you see it falling again, maybe click it a few more times, and there you have it. Alright, so if you see on this side of your screen, you will see a graph of X versus time. What you can do to see your Y is go to plot and hit number 2. And this is going to be your change in your elevation versus time. And since your tracker homework asks you for the Vy velocity, what you can do is go to table and choose which values you want to see. So here right now it's showing X and Y, but you want Vy. And for your project, AY is also going to be important. Vx not so I'm going to go ahead and deselect this. I'm going to close this, and now we have our values for Vy, AY, and Y. And if you want to change the type of graph that you're looking at, I'm going to go ahead and change my X graph. I'm going to click on the Y label here, and I'm going to ask them to show me my Vy component. There you have it. So homework 4A question 1 asks us the vertical velocity of Vy at the instant that h is 50. So how we can do this is change t to our y position and look for 0.5 and just hover over it for a bit, and we can see that Vy is roughly negative 2.95. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this here. I'm going to round it up to 3. Let's see. There you have it. So tracker is pretty straightforward. You can manipulate the graphs by clicking on the names of the axis, and you can manipulate the tables by clicking on this little box here and selecting the type of data you want to display. And that is all I have for the tracker tutorial. Good luck for your project.